Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the Functional Aging Summit preview, a little sneak peek as to what's to come in June. We are all very excited about this event and glad that you are considering coming. Our slogan this year for the first ever inaugural summit from us is Join the Fam, and that kind of has a double meaning. We definitely hope that you join our family in the Functional Aging Institute, but also to join the functional aging movement. And we are very serious that we are trying to impact the lives of older adults. Our goal is to reach 1 million aging boomers and seniors in this country. And the way we plan on doing that is by certifying 10,000 fitness professionals. So we hope that if you haven't joined us as a certified functional aging specialist, you'll consider that. And also to all of you who have already done so, thank you very much, and we really appreciate it. Dan and I just want to say welcome. I am the handsome guy on the left there, and Dan's the other shorter fellow. But we've been working on this for a really long time, and this is something that Dan and I are very excited about. We didn't think that since we just started the Functional Aging Institute a little over a year ago that we'd be in a position to be able to even hold our first event, standalone event. So we're very excited, very thrilled that we're able to do that. So we are going to cover a little bit about the schedule, go through some kind of facts about the conference, really try to answer all of your questions that you might have related to this event, and of course, hopefully compel you to participate. This is something that you're going to want to do. But let's just start off by saying that this is really not a typical fitness conference. If you've gone to, the standard fitness conferences, whether it's from, ACSM, ACE, NSCA, I mean, you name it, they're pretty standard fitness conferences. This is not that, okay? This is really two intense days of education, so you're going to be learning, but also mentoring, networking, and growing. And so we are very dedicated on providing you some great information that's going to help you improve your skills as a trainer and what you do with your older clients, but at the same time, really help you focus on marketing and sales as well. And because we know that, you can be the greatest trainer in the world, but if you don't know how to market and sell to this population, you're not going to have clients to train, and you need both of those to really have a successful career. So we're often asked, well, kind of who is this for, right? Well, if you are a personal training studio owner, and you own your own facility or you own your own boot camp and you're running that, then obviously this is for you. But it's not just for people like you. For just independent personal trainers that are out there, for those that are working even in big box gyms or are kind of managers of fitness facilities of all different types, or even physical therapists that are trying to expand into the fitness realm. That's really a growing need and a growing area. We are going to try to cover information that's going to be beneficial for each and every one of you. So our goal really is to provide high quality, cutting edge information that you can take home with right now, put to work, improve your business, and really start to get on a great career path. There are so many challenges to, being in the fitness profession, and one of them obviously is generating revenue, generating income. And so we want to help you do that as you reach out and you help the older clientele. All right, so let's just kind of take a look at the overview of the schedule. Obviously, this is a 2-day event, but we also have our pre-conference workshops, which will be on June 11th. We have our functional aging specialists and our barefoot training specialists that we'll be offering, and I'll talk more about those here in just a little bit. For the first day of the summit, we'll kick it off in the morning and have some great speakers lined up for you, networking lunch, some more speakers in the afternoon, so that you can get some dinner, and then we're going to have an evening networking social. On the second day, similar format, we'll have speakers in the morning, a networking lunch, again, that we provide for you, some more speakers, and then we will wrap it up. And we wrap it up, like I said, this is not your typical fitness conference. So our wrap-up is really designed to, okay, you have learned a lot of great stuff over the past 2 days or 3 days. What do you need to do right now? What do you need to focus on? What do you need to prioritize, for whatever position you're in, wherever kind of situation you're in financially and from a business standpoint, or whether you're independent. We want to kind of help you get some clarity before you leave and get some actionable steps. And that leads into our post-con, or kind of a special event that we have, which is a one-day business coaching mastermind. In our advanced specialists, we have people that will come out for 2 days at our facility, kind of see how we run everything, what we do, how we do it, our protocols, talk to our staff, talk to our members, and really then have some intensive training time where we work on your business. And this is going to be a kind of one-day version of that. Obviously, it won't be at our facility, but if you've never been in a kind of a one-day high-level coaching mastermind event, I just can't tell you enough how valuable they are. It meant the world for Dan and I and our business and everything that we've done, and certainly something that if you are reliant on making money, making income to support you and your family and making a career out of this, this is something that you really want to get to. But again, I'll give you some more details on that as we go. We have tried to pack a ton of value into this conference, right? Whether it's just from the initial pricing to our hotel venue, providing lunch, so many different things that I want to go through, make sure you understand the huge value that's here, the kind of the bang for your buck that you're getting. So let's just hit some of those frequently asked questions right off the bat, some things that you might be wondering about. Will CEUs be awarded for the summit? Yes, they will. We are working on those right now. We're not sure exactly which organizations we're going to get CEUs from, but certainly ACE and AFA and some other big organizations that we've used for our functional aging specialists, we will get those for this event as well. Can I just do the pre-con or the post-con workshop? Right now, the answer is no. Now, that might change, but we fully expect, because we are limited on seating and for the summit, for our pre-con and for our post-con, that we expect, that those pre-con and post-con events are going to fill up by summit attendees. And certainly we want people to be at the summit, to not just be there for one or the other. Now, if you have a special situation or those spots aren't all reserved as we get closer to the date, we would certainly consider that. But right now, kind of the answer is no. Seating is limited. We have less than 200 seats available for the summit itself. The pre-conference workshops, I'm not exactly what the limit is on there. We're going to do some kind of room reorganizing as we get closer to the event to make sure we can get the maximum number of people in there. But our post-con business coaching event, that is limited to 15 seats. And because that is a high-level coaching mastermind day, and we want to be able to spend time individually with you and really work on your business and give you what you need. And so we can't do that in a really large group. If you're already a certified functional aging specialist, this is going to be a great event to you. We're going to add more tools to your toolbox. We're really going to get much more to the marketing and business side of things, which we get questions about all the time. People will go through the specialist certification. I already got these skills. Now what? How do I get the clients, right? How do I get them and how do I keep them? And so this is something that's going to be great for you. Plus, you're going to get CEUs for your functional aging specialist. So we haven't published the kind of recertification guidelines yet because it's on a 2-year cycle. We just started a little over a year ago, so we don't have anybody coming up for recertification until the beginning of next year. But that's going to be important that you understand. And if you come to a live event, any of our live events, then we will waive the recertification fee for you because we want to meet you. We want to help you in person and be able to talk to you face to face. And so that's just another reason to come to the summit that we're putting on. The venue for the event is the Sheraton Phoenix Airport Hotel. It's technically in Tempe, but we listed it as in Phoenix. It's just a few minutes away from the airport. So it is a nice hotel, but it's very economical to stay in. A basic room is $69. Goes up to $89 if you're in a club level room and some different amenities to go with it. But that's really very affordable, especially if you're sharing a room with someone. Breakfast is included in that price. plus the lunches that we are providing as part of your registration fee. But you got a free shuttle to and from the airport, so you don't have to worry about renting a car or taking an expensive taxi ride, and there's free Wi-Fi. So this venue has been chosen because we are able to get so much out of it for such a cheap cost for our attendees. Again, we are trying to keep the cost down and the value high so that we can get as many people there as possible. Let's take a quick look at our speaker lineup. Just briefly, these are the speakers that we have set. We know each and every one of these speakers individually and personally and have hand-selected them to kick off our event. Some of them you've probably heard of, and others you probably have no idea who they are. But trust me, these are all people that have a track record of experience and expertise in the subject matter that they're going to be talking about. These aren't just people that you see at fitness conferences that, you see them talking about 10 different topics at different conferences. Certainly they can't know everything about all those different topics. But that's when you're on kind of the professional speaking, tour, that's kind of what you do. You talk about anything and everything to keep getting gigs. But these are people that we have hand-selected and invited personally to share some great information with you. The first person who's going to kick us off is Martin Pisani, and he's going to talk about the untapped opportunity in the fitness business, the 50-plus population. Martin is probably someone you've never heard of. We have kind of been in touch and communicating with Martin for a couple of years now. He is someone that has a huge track record in kind of the fitness corporate world, right? So he's been in senior leadership positions of, Bally and Crunch Fitness and other groups, and has just done a tremendous job with them. So if you're, kind of in that elite executive circle, you know who Martin is. He has proven himself over the years, but he has also, kind of gone out and broadened his horizons, and he has developed some expertise in marketing and branding in other critical areas from other industries. And so Martin has realized how important this growing 50-plus population is to the fitness business. And he talks about it from a different perspective. And so this is why we want Martin to kick it off. And here you can see in his picture, that's from a TEDx talk that he did last year. And he talks about fitness as repositioning itself and becoming a part of upstream preventative health care for this population. You might say, well, what does that mean? Well, he's going to share what that means and how we can kind of broaden our own perspective of fitness and the opportunities that exist specifically because of this growing aging population that we have. This is what's really creating this need for fitness to expand into some other areas. So he's really going to broaden your mind and really kick us off in the right direction. I'm not going to go through all of our speakers, but I just want to highlight a few of the key talks and just kind of give you an idea of what's to come. All right, and these are not in any specific order. I'm going to be doing Into the Heart of the Storm. If you've heard me talk about the perfect storm with this population, you know what I'm referring to, that there's a number of factors that have really created a perfect storm when it comes to the opportunity that fitness professionals have with the aging marketplace. One, there's huge numbers of them, right? There's just tons of aging boomers, 80 million of them. Okay, they have a need for fitness because they're getting older and they're suffering more aches and pains and health problems. Okay, but they want what fitness can give them. I mean, they've been told pretty much their whole lives how important fitness is, and they know that. Okay, so they want what fitness can give them. They are the wealthiest age cohort in history. So while of course you have people that can't afford services in this group, you have a lot of people that can afford services and can even afford high-end services, right? Plus, there really hardly is any competition for this group. You will find this group everywhere. In any sort of gym that you go to, you'll find them. And that makes these kind of gym owners or boot camp owners think, oh, I'm doing a good job because I have some of them. No, they are so diverse, they go everywhere. But there's a tremendous opportunity for fitness professionals to really figure out how to match up their training with their business and how to utilize both of those. So I'm going to talk about this whole brain approach, this right brain and left brain approach to your training and your marketing and in your overall business as a whole, and how that's going to really propel you along to really growing your clientele, retaining them, getting lots of great feedback, and that's just going to keep rolling and rolling and rolling and be very successful for you. We're also going to be doing the Functional Aging Specialist Certification Workshop as a pre-con. If you have not taken that, this is a great opportunity to do it. We have so many requests for people to come to our live workshops. They want the hands-on learning. Well, we are offering this workshop. You get all the same online tools, the training modules, the online exam, the forms. You get all that the same, all the videos, but you also get 8 hours of live instruction. And we are pricing it at half the cost of our typical just online price. So normally, if you just go online and you want to purchase, the online certification, it's $399, and we are offering that bundled with the workshop for $199 at our summit. So you are really getting a great deal, plus all the CEUs that will go along with it. So we hope that you do that. And actually, I mentioned, the space is limited already. About half of our registrants for the summit have also signed up for the pre-con workshop. So that's how popular it is, and I just want to encourage you to secure your space, your spot early, because I'm afraid that we're going to have to turn people away from that if we can't get space in the hotel. I'm really excited that Dr. Emily Splickle is going to be with us. She founded the Evidence-Based Fitness Academy, and her specialization is barefoot training. And as she will tell you, it's not barefoot running. It's kind of cliche. Where she's talking about what are the kind of unique neuromuscular benefits of training in bare feet, and what then do you do in order to maximize that? And so she's specifically going to talk about these aging baby boomers and what's happening neurologically to their plantar proprioceptors, et cetera, and how barefoot training can really then help them to improve their function and balance in the long haul. Emily and I have been in conversation for a couple of years now. When she first came on the scene, I was skeptical about what she was doing, and what I really like is that she really tries to back up everything she does with the evidence, of course, which was what FAI is all about, right? We want evidence-based solutions to the problems that we see in the older population. I'm going to be speaking at her summit in April. She just had a summit in India, which was successful, and so then she's going to be joining us for our summit. So very excited to have her. And then she, as a pre-con, is going to be doing her barefoot training specialist certification. I'm having Emily actually come down to our university and do this certification workshop for local fitness professionals and physical therapists, athletic trainers. She's going to do a special presentation for our physical therapy students as well. And I'm really excited to kind of learn the ins and outs of barefoot training. And so my suggestion is, if you are already a functional aging specialist, or if you will have finished it by the time the summit rolls around, and you're going to come to the summit, take one more day, invest an extra $200, and go to the Barefoot Training Specialist Workshop. I have heard nothing but great things about out of everybody that has ever attended that workshop and gone through that program. So, we're trying to bring you, again, evidence-based but cutting-edge tools that you can use, and so this is going to be a great session. Our good friend, longtime friend Shauna Kaminsky, is going to talk about how to create an online clientele for the 55-plus population. And Shauna is someone who has a lot of great experience in training people, and who has run boot camps and et cetera. But what she has really done successfully is she has created this online clientele that has really boosted her success. She's been someone who has learned the online business, who has developed products to sell online, but has also used her online savviness to help her offline business, her gyms and her boot camps. We're going to talk a lot about marketing and sales throughout the summit, because that's a key thing that fitness professionals really need help with. And her goal, because online stuff can be so confusing and intimidating and really frustrating for those who aren't techies, and even if you are techie, it can still be that way. But what she's really going to do is she's going to demystify all that for us, and she's going to really break through kind of all the fog and the haze. And trust me, this is something that will be crucial to your business as you move forward. And Shauna she is just a great person. Everybody loves Shauna. She is in her early 50s herself. She's extremely fit and muscular. I can't remember how many pull-ups she can do. I mean, it's incredible, and just a fun person to be around. So you'll want to come and hear her and hang out with her at the event. Dr. Debbie Rose is going to be coming from, excuse me, Cal State Fullerton, where she is the co-director of the Center for Successful Aging, and she is one of the premier balance experts in the world. When it comes to balance and falls prevention, Debbie Rose speaks around the world, is internationally recognized. She started a program called Fall Proof. You might have seen the book. She also runs a certification called Fall Proof, which is a balance and mobility enhancement specialist certification. Dan and I went to that course one of the first times it was offered a number of years ago. Her work has greatly influenced our philosophies and techniques and strategies when it comes to training. We include a lot of her evidence-based balance work in the recommendations that we use in the functional aging specialist and our advanced balance training module that we have. And so I'm excited that she's going to be on hand to really walk us through, what is the hard-hitting research, what's the most compelling evidence, and then how do we utilize it in one-on-one and group settings? How do we make the most out of it? And as I've talked to more and more trainers, even those that have gone through the functional aging specialist, they're still pretty weak when it comes to balance training. And balance training is something that you have to be pretty strong on it. It just adds so many different tools to your toolbox and people that you can work with and improves your outcomes. And so this is going to be great to have her around. Dan is going to be hitting the top marketing tactics that are working right now. A lot of things change when it comes to marketing, and there's a lot of confusion about reaching out to this older clientele. Like, are they online? Yes, they are online. They're online in droves, But how does that relate to your standard kind of recruiting of sending postcards or running TV ads or putting ads in the newspaper? What about YouTube and Facebook? How do I use those to really drive business, not just to, post pictures of kitty cats and funny quotes? How do I drive business using those tools? And so he is really going to talk about some top marketing tactics that are working specifically for the older population. And these are things that you're going to be able to put into practice pretty immediately and get good results from. Bedros Koulian is going to be talking about marketing to the new affluent client. If you know Bedros, he needs no introduction. If you don't know him, all I can say, he's got to be one of the top fitness business minds that are in the industry today. He has helped turn so many different businesses around and create multiple 6- and 7-figure generating fitness businesses with his coaching clients. Dan and I have been coaching clients of Bedros for a long time. In fact, he is responsible for getting FII off the ground. He was the one that said, look, why haven't you guys, created an organization, created your own certification, to serve this group if there's such a need for it. And, whether it was fear or doubt, whatever you can say on our end that was holding us back, he was the final kick in the pants that said, hey, you guys need to do this. Well, he's going to really be hitting on a special aspect of this aging boomer population, and that's the affluent client. Now, I don't just mean the hoity-toity living in mansions, driving Rolls Royces, have butlers and servants, and you don't ever see them, right? I'm not talking about that kind of ultra rich, okay? We're talking about all those affluent people who you run into every day, and you might not even know how rich they really are. In fact, I can attest to a number of our clients. I can think of them right now who they drive a 10-year-old car. It's nothing exciting because that's not, it's not important to them to kind of show off or to drive the newest car because they're going to spend their money on what's important. And so one of our couples, as an example, they added up and they kind of shocked themselves when he added up how much money they had spent on travel the previous year. They had spent over $50,000 just on travel alone because that's what was important to them. They wanted to go around the world and do stuff. And so they were taking all these trips together and separately and, spent a lot of money just on travel alone. So how do you find these affluent clients? How do you attract them and serve them? Because they do have a little bit different mindset than kind of the rest of us that are in these lower middle kind of income brackets. They've got a lot of disposable income, and it doesn't mean, that you have to have gold toilet. That's not what we're talking about. But there are some keys, some huge keys to getting into the heart and mind of that affluent client. So Bedros is going to hit on that for us. Last slide here, just talking about some of our other great presenters that we have lined up. It's just going to be an amazing 2 days that you're going to want to be here for. Now, let's talk a little bit about some of the other things that we have going on. I mentioned the value that we're trying to pack into this. Our first night, we're going to have a networking social, and it really is going to be networking social. So you can come, hang by the pool, have fun, kind of have some drinks, have some snacks. But all of our experts will be there. Our speakers will be there. Our advisory board, those that can come will be there. Dan and I will be there. And so it's a great opportunity to not just hang out, but to really talk to us and, ask us questions, figure out the things that you need to do for your business. And there are so many other extras that we've packed in here in order to really create value. Like I said, our goal is to pack in as much value as we can. So our lunches are going to be networking lunches, and really specifically for that. And so what I mean is we are going to place our speakers and experts around in different, at different tables in different areas, so that you can seek out the experts that you want to talk to, run ideas by, pick their brain, whatever it might be, over lunch, and so that you'll have that opportunity. We'll provide obviously some snacks, lots of gifts and giveaways and prizes that we're going to be handing out. Again, trying to pack in the value for you. One thing that's going to be really cool is we're going to do mini coaching sessions throughout the summit, and these are just going to be kind of a sign up, first come, first serve sort of thing, where we will take about 20 minutes with you and try to hit the one biggest issue, the one biggest problem that you have in your business that's holding you back, and solve that for you. And we want to show you kind of the value of coaching, but we also want you to improve your business. Absolutely. So we are going to provide these mini coaching sessions for you throughout the summit, and so you'll be able to sign up for those once you get on site. Our plan is to record the entire event. We hope to videotape the whole thing. If we can't, deal with the logistics of videotaping, we will at least audio tape the speakers and then hook those up with their PowerPoint presentation, so you have some sort of narrated PowerPoint file, kind of like this webinar. So you'll have access to all that again if you're there. There's a number of other expert guests that we have coming that we're not even going to tell you about. They're just coming as attendees. And in fact, when we hand selected our speakers, we started to put the call out for the summit, and then so many other experts just started to come out the woodwork saying, "Oh man, I would love to speak at your event." And these are some people that we've slated for next year, because they would be so valuable, and we would love to add a third day, to the summit just to have them speak. But we have a lot of those that are just going to be there, and so we'll identify them for you. And again, you'll get to mingle with them and ask them questions. Plus, we'll have some cool FEI gear for you. All right, so let's talk very quickly about our post-con event, this one-day business coaching mastermind. If you haven't been to a mastermind event, you don't know what you're missing. It is an investment that is absolutely worth it, because it will propel your business forward faster than you ever thought possible. So some of the things that we're going to cover, what are the 2 to 3 things that you need to take massive action on right now in order to grow your business exponentially? Okay, so again, lots of great ideas, but for your business, okay, you might have lots of great things planned, but what are the 2 to 3 things that you need to focus on? And trust me, all business owners get sidetracked. They start to major in the minors. They lose sight of what's important and what's critical. They're putting out fires every day, right? And so we want to give you clarification and clarity and just say, hey, these are the things that you need to do, especially if there are things that are killing your success, right? Sometimes we do things that we don't know how detrimental they are for our business. Have you ever watched any of those kind of business shows that are popular right now, kind of business turnaround shows, you see that, right? Because they're talking to the staff, they're talking to the clients. You see from the outside, this person has a major problem, and they don't see it, right? They don't see that they have got this glaring issue. And so we're going to help kind of point those out for you and get rid of those. And a big thing in fitness is really you spend so much time working in your business, you don't have time to work on it. And you have got to figure out ways to work on your business. And we've got some strategies that have been very successful for our coaching clients, that have been very successful for us, that we have been coached about, that will be tremendous for you. Now, like I said, this is limited to the first 15 participants. So kind of the schedule of the day is we're going to cover kind of some of these kind of keys and major factors, but it's going to be tailored to each individual business. So you're going to have a chance to get in the hot seat, and the hot seat is a cool experience because you get to sit with everybody around, hit the things that you need most in your business, and we're going to give you some direct, hard-hitting advice on what to do and start to make plans for your success. So we're going to throw in a bunch of bonuses with that. If you sign up for coaching, you're going to get some VIP treatment at the summit itself because we want you to succeed, right? If you're investing in coaching, we want you to succeed. So you'll be able to sit right up front with all of our other speakers and our experts. You're going to get free access to the advanced modules. If you do the kind of the whole enchilada that I'll talk about is where you do the certification at the beginning and you do the coaching at the end with the summit, we're going to give you access to the advanced modules. And then as a final bonus is we're going to give you a couple follow-up coaching calls after the event in order to help you implement the steps that we outlined for you. So we don't just want to kind of pat you in the butt and send you out the door and say, okay, good luck. We want to keep you moving forward. And so we're going to provide a couple of coaching calls for you. But again, that's limited to only 15 people because we're going to keep this intimate, personal, and effective. All right, last thing I really want to hit on is the financial investment. You might call it a cost. We're going to call it a financial investment because it really is an investment in yourself, your business, career, your future, your family, your clients, you name it, okay? And so these are laid out for you. If you missed the early bird deadline, if you're listening to this, you probably have missed the early bird deadline, which is March 22nd. But we have a couple other chances to really continue to save money. Like I said, we are going to try to get as much value as we can out of this. Our post-conference business coaching, the Mastermind, that's going to stay at $599 the whole way through. So that won't have any sort of early bird special or other deadline attached to it. Now, if you are good with math, then you do the whole enchilada, okay, and those are supposed to be pictures of enchiladas there. So if you do the whole enchilada, it's going to be $997, and that will give you a pre-conference certification workshop, the 2 days of the summit, the one-day business coaching mastermind with all the bonuses associated with it. Okay, so you are really going to get a whole lot of value for less than $1,000. Again, we are trying to make this as cost-effective as we possibly can for you. All right. Well, that kind of finishes us up. Make sure that you go to functionalaginginstitute.com/FAS2015 to register for the event. I can't stress enough that we are limited in seating. We've got only so much room in our conference venue for this first summit, and so we fully expect it to be sold out and packed. So make sure that you sign up as soon as possible. Now, as always, when you go through our registration page, if there are things that still aren't clear or that you have questions about, please email us. You can email us at the email address contact@functionalaginginstitute.com. Really hope to see you there. We would love to have you. We'd love to help you, and